I'm Tony Perkins, President of the Family Research Council, along with Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin, and I welcome you to this Stand Courageous video. I've had the privilege of kind of being your guide as we work through what it means to be a biblical man. Of course, the General providing a lot of insight in these different aspects. General, today one of the issues we want to talk about is something that, well, it's kind of like the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it, but it's a huge issue. It's the issue of pornography and the number of men who are addicted to pornography.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you talk to any pastor in the churches, you'll discover that it's a major problem in relationships in the churches. And there's a lot of counseling going on right now in churches. And look, some of you that are watching us today, you've got an addiction, or you've at least got some kind of problem with pornography. Josh McDowell, in the studies that he's done on pornography, says that 74% of the families in the church have somebody in that family that's addicted to pornography or that has a major problem with it. Now, other studies show that about 70% of the men in our society today use pornography at least occasionally, and what's really frightening is about 48% actually, of the American public says there is no problem with it. And then you've got about 1 out of 20 that say it actually helps their relationship with their wife or their partner, if you will. And that is just counterintuitive, because there is also research that shows the long-term damaging effects that it has on you as a man. And it is not worth it. Let me just say that. It's not worth it. It's not worth what it's going to cost you in a decade, or maybe in a few short years. And the average male is introduced to pornography at 9 years old.
Right. And it's not only an issue personally, which obviously that's the starting point, but 18 states have declared pornography a public health crisis. I mean, it's affecting families, it's affecting communities. And I just want to reemphasize the point that you made, that Josh McDowell in his study showed, is that it's not out. We're not talking about something that's outside the walls of the church. We're talking about men sitting in the pews. In fact, we're even talking about some of the men standing behind the pulpits. Right. That there is this addiction. It's an illegitimate means of trying to address a legitimate need, and it's like any other counterfeit. It robs from the real intrinsic value. And what Satan is doing here with pornography is robbing men of the intimacy that God designed sex to bring to the relationship between a man and a woman. The fulfillment, the satisfaction, the bonding. That's lost when pornography is introduced.
And psychologists have proven through the research and the studies that they've done that watching pornography releases endorphins. It gives you a high, just like cocaine or something else. It's a different kind of high, obviously. And that's why it's so difficult for men that are trapped in this bondage of pornography. It's so difficult to get away from it, because once you start that high, it's hard to break it. Now, the other thing, though, is it has also been proven in research that the more you watch it, the more you need. Right. You need aberrant kinds of things, and then men get off into child porn, and they get off into homosexual pornography, and they get off into all these other things because they're trying to feed a habit that can't be satiated by what you've done, routinely, and you've got to go to the next level. It's very dangerous, and I'm just saying, if you don't stop, you're going to pay a price for this in the future. Walk away from it. Just quit.
Some quick action steps. 1, join the small group that has accountability. You need accountability to overcome porn addiction. And if you're a father, make sure you're watching what your children are being exposed to, especially your sons. And 3, it's raining. We need to get out of the rain, but you need to stand courageous.